server. That's one of the distinctions here. This wasn't Gmail or Yahoo or something. This was a server that you owned. Is that appropriate? Was there any precedent for it? Did you clear it with any State Department security officials? And did they have full access to it when you were secretary? And then separately, will any of this have any bearing or effect on your timing or decision about whether or not you run for president? Thank you.
Well, the system we used was set up for President Clinton's office, and it had numerous safeguards. The vast majority of my work emails went to government employees at their government addresses, which meant they were captured and preserved immediately on the system at the State Department, and provided all my emails that could possibly be work-related, which totaled roughly 55,000 printed pages, even though I knew that the State Department already had the vast majority of them. We went through a thorough process to identify all of my work-related emails and deliver them to the State Department. At the end, I chose not to keep my private personal emails, of asking that the State Department make all my work-related emails public for everyone to see.
Emails. The State Department confirming a report that the FBI found almost 15,000 unreleased emails in its year-long investigation of her private server.
Released from the FBI documents, we're hearing that they're more related. Any sense of which emails those may be, if they're ones that we've already seen or if these are new?
These appear to be emails that we haven't seen before, and you'll recall that last week we heard about 15,000 emails and documents that the FBI said that it had recovered from Clinton's server that were work-related, that it was going to hand over to the State Department and a federal judge. First place, that's how we discovered that Clinton had exclusively used a private email server as Secretary of State, because the Benghazi Committee in the House of Representatives asked for all of her records on Benghazi and was told that the State Department didn't have any of her emails.
Destroyed BlackBerries with hammers in the State Department. That's not what won the presidency.
Actually,
and by the way,
Evan, hold on. Can you fact check that? Hang on, Evan Perez. Hammers, fact check that for me, please, on the fly.
Yes, they did, Brooke.
Thanks.
As you mentioned, there were 13 devices, mobile devices, and 5 iPads that the FBI said that, in some way were used with her private email server, and they did, in some cases, just destroy them with hammers when they were done using them.
She joins me now from Washington. Paula, what can you tell us about this letter, about the investigation, and now the reports are that the FBI seized electronic devices belonging to former Congressman Anthony Weiner and his wife, Huma Abedin. What do you know?
Vlad, we've confirmed that this investigation into Hillary Clinton's use of a private email server has been reopened after investigators in a separate case received or seized devices during their investigation into Anthony Weiner and whether or not he was allegedly sexting with an underage girl. Now, they seized those devices in order to determine whether or not he was indeed communicating and what he was communicating. But on those devices, apparently, they also found emails that are related to Hillary Clinton's use of a private server.
Heather Samuelson, Hillary Clinton's attorney, received immunity from the Justice Department. Who was Heather Samuelson? She is the lawyer who deleted the emails for Hillary Clinton on her behalf. So you've heard those 33,000 emails that were deleted. Those were the State Department records that Hillary Clinton took improperly from the State Department when she left. When she called out on it, she had Heather Samuelson go through the records and supposedly delete the personal records. So Heather Samuelson, the Clinton lawyer who deleted her records, was given immunity by the Justice Department in 2016. Hi, Judicial Watch President Tom Fitton here with breaking news on the Clinton email scandal. If you want to know why Hillary Clinton has skated thus far on her email misconduct, it's because Barack Obama is implicated in the Clinton email scheme. The FBI just admitted to us that it had to find Clinton emails in Barack Obama's White House, specifically the executive office of the president. The FBI also confirmed it found up to 49,000 Clinton server emails on the laptop of disgraced former Congressman Anthony Weiner. These disclosures were forced out of the FBI as a result of court-ordered discovery granted to Judicial Watch into the Clinton email issue.
New emails showing top Clinton advisor Cheryl Mills was privately worried that the family's charitable foundation needed to clean up glaring conflicts of interest around the overlapping nonprofit and the money-making machine known as Bill Clinton. Bill Clinton was using the charity for his own purposes. Here's what Mills was worried about. She circulated a memo in December of 2011 that said, quote, "Currently, the president personally compensates certain workers to perform duties that fall outside of the scope of the foundation entity's mission. And these workers support the president's business, his personal, basically former president, and his political activity, while also providing support for foundation activity for which their services are then billed to the foundation." And there was so much concern about it that Chelsea Clinton called it, quote, "an existing muddle." And it turns out, though, that one of the people at the foundation collecting outside income, it was her father. He was paid a salary of $3.5 million a year by a Clinton confidence consulting company. It's called Teneo. That person, Doug Bann, also co-founded the Clinton Global Initiative. This latest development is on top of new revelations of a $12 million offer to the Clinton Foundation from the King of Morocco just for a meeting between the King and Bill Clinton and Chelsea Clinton. Also, a $1 million birthday present from Qatar for Bill Clinton that came at a time when Qatar was supporting terrorist organizations, including Al-Qaeda. And don't forget the more than $17 million payday over 5 years for Bill Clinton as honorary chancellor of the for-profit college, Laureate International.
You used to criticize me for even talking to the Russians. Now suddenly you're okay with your nominee having a bromance with Putin.
It's clear that he has business dealings with Russian oligarchs who are very connected to Putin.
Maybe because he wants to do business in Moscow. The financial relationship.
We're going to get to that later.
He has
Secretary
with
Clinton,
Russians and
you're out of
other
time.
foreign powers.
However, the Wall Street Journal now reporting that the latest WikiLeaks emails show that Hillary Clinton's campaign chairman, John Podesta, has long had ties to a Kremlin-backed solar energy company. This company was basically backed by investment that was coming out of the Russian government and the entities there. It's gone, and basically what's happening here is John Podesta went out of his way, according to the Wall Street Journal, to avoid scrutiny of this relationship.